So we start the action at Filbert Street, and you may remember last time we were there in October, Leicester's match against Southampton was washed out after 20 minutes water sports. At that time, Leicester had 1 point to their name and Watford just 8, and the form of both clubs since made today's match appetising and unpredictable. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Here's a man you can't keep out of the headlines or indeed the close-ups. Maurice Johnston, 17 goals in 20 games for Watford, and on Tuesday notching the winner on his international debut for Scotland against Wales. On the Leicester side, Alan Smith scored his 13th goal of the season last week. We'll be hoping to move off that number this afternoon because last season he got stuck there for 7 games. He's in a side which is unchanged from the team which beat Ipswich Town last Saturday by 2-0. Watford make changes this afternoon for reasons of injury and opportunity. Charlie Palmer comes in at the centre of the defence, and young Gary Porter gets a chance at number 11. Riley is still out, Barnes plays in the middle. And Steve Sims makes a return to the ground he left in December 1978. Matches involving these two sides have produced over 200 goals this season. So it's to be hoped that Gordon Milne, the Leicester manager, is not tempting fate when he says that no one here will be expecting a sterile, goalless draw. And immediately we get a corner. Steve Sherwood and Palmer in front of him. So many Leicester players forward, but it comes out to Johnston. Straight back in. The wind blowing the hair of Sherwood, the kick against it. McDonald, and that's too short, and here's Johnston. He was rescued by Mark Wallington. It was a poor back pass. And Mark Wallington did well. The last person surely you want to give that sort of opportunity to is Mo Johnston. David Addison, the referee, on this ground for the first time in his career. Taylor made up a fair bit of ground then. Six Watford players, now 7 in attacking positions, the 7th being the fullback Rostron. Taylor. Peak. Seen by Rostron. Everything to Rostron's right. Corner. Smith doing what has become the centre forward's job these days, marking the centre half when he comes up for the corner. That's a better corner. It's flicked away by Linex. Lineker. Peak is in the centre forward position. How good to see Lineker carrying it, but he's got to do something about it now, because to say he's being closed down is a bit of an understatement. Well, he made, what, 80 yards? Wilson. 3 in the middle. Peak. Oh, a few comments. The eyes of Peak said a lot. The hands of Sherwood, having tipped the ball over, then said quite a lot to his defenders. Sign of things to come, according to Leicester supporters. That was a good try by McDonald. Peak. 3 runners ahead of him. Oh, I say, what a cracking goal! Well, they gave him the room to run into. The 3 running up ahead of him added to that room. I think Watford were thinking in terms of the pass, but I doubt if the thought even crossed Peak's mind. And he bumped it past Steve Sherwood in great style. 23 minutes gone. Leicester City have the lead at 1-0. And Watford's statistics now read 80 goals scored, 77 conceded this season. Jacket. Barnes. Callahan gets the corner. Andy Peak now back to cover the goal. Barnes. Sims. Oh, yes! Wolf Rostron had to really stretch for it. And I'm not sure that Wallington saw too much of it, and it got in inside the far post. Well, we waited 23 minutes for the first goal. We've now had 2 inside a minute, and it's 1-1. Now we'll make the assumption that you can add 80 and 1. Good recovery. Lineker. Lineker. Oh, Sherwood, where were you? Lineker turning the ball past the far post, but Steve Sherwood, well, he will know far better than I that he was in thoroughly the wrong position. Gary Lineker, the Leicester City top scorer. So much pace, but he makes so many runs to create gaps for other people. He's a useful man to have around. And he's in chase again. He may be capable of playing at a higher level than this. Wilson. Now to get the cross in, Linex didn't get enough of a touch. Lineker. McDonald's. The Leicester midfield have got to get back. Johnston. Oh no, a bit strong. Smith. Jacket. Comfortably seen by Hazel. Good return from Linex. Still promising for Leicester. Lineker. And little Wolf Rostron came in to take it away from Hazel. He remains up. A half that had so many good things in it. 2 goals, Wolf Rostron equalising the earlier one, scored by Andy Peak for Leicester City. Half-time face among the Watford supporters, taking a weekend off from football in Italy, where he plays these days for AC Milan, former Watford striker Luther Blissett. On in place of Nigel Callahan. is 20-year-old Worrell Sterling. So Watford now attacking the goal to our right, and Graham Taylor, their manager, giving another youngster an opportunity in the side. It's Hazel. Jacket. And the flag up for offside. And one substitute appearance in Watford's recent run, which has produced 22 points out of 27. And also has taken them to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Linex, good determination. Still not. Finally, Palmer got a foot in. We've picked up the pace immediately. Linex got it through again when he shouldn't have. And it was Lineker who was denied. Not too sure how much was known about that, but the body was there for the block. Hartley. Sterling. Hazel across. Not a good header by Sims. Wilson. Here's Linex. Good save. Timed it superbly. Linex straight in on Steve Sherwood, who came to claim the ball just at the right moment. O'Neill. Well played by Smith. Blatantly brought down by Steve Sims. It was tight on the touchline, but the former favourite at Filbert Street being well booed, but not booked. Graham Taylor, the Watford manager, seizing the opportunity to give a couple of youngsters a real feel of first-team football this afternoon. Start of the season, having to put a lot of youngsters into European competition and not wanting to be caught that way again, it would seem. Out by Sims, good clearing header. Hazel. Smith. Jacket, who made a rather strange but very effective clearance. Porter. Barnes. It seems he quite deliberately won the corner. Seems in trouble with that right ankle, which he hurt when fouling Alan Smith. And Watford have already made a substitution at half-time. Johnson on the far post. Porter in the middle of the goal. Good jump by Hazel and by Rostrom. Porter ready to turn one way when the other would have given him a better chance. O'Neill. Long chase, McDonald and Jacket. Smith got a knock on the temple a few moments ago. And there's Peake! Oh, I say he's done it again! was a marvellous, marvellous attempt, and how well he succeeded. Celebration for Leicester City supporters, and a moment for Bobby Smith to get some attention. Fortune not favouring the Brave, because Steve Sims has gone to the dressing room with what appears to be a badly cut ankle. Leicester remain at full strength, Bobby Smith having recovered, and they lead 2-1. Smith, Rostron, Jacket, Lineker, Linux. They've had a good contest, those two, Linux and Rostron. Leicester City endeavouring to take the game by the throat, with Watford reduced to 10 men. Comes to Lineker, that's good play, and he got it through Sherwood. Lineker, the way he pulled it down was quite delightful, but he had the luck from there on in, squeezing the ball, it seems, through the goalkeeper. So Gordon Milne just leaning forward, must now feel confident that the 3 points are going his way. 59 minutes gone, Leicester City 3, Watford 1. Johnson pulling Hayes along the way. It's a free kick will be given. Sherwood for sure will be disappointed about that one. Peak. Smith didn't know he had it. And the return of Sims, imminent. And the Watford centre-half comes back after being off the field with an ankle injury for 16 minutes. Smith. A deflection for the corner. And Sims stays out of the defensive position. Smith's header, Alan Smith, and he scores. And there was no big man to mark him, it seemed. And his header curled into the top corner. Sims, having just returned, stayed on the right wing, didn't go back for the corner. It suggests that his return is only a token presence. And anyway, surely the match is now won by Leicester at 4-1. Johnston. Smith. McDonald's, well claimed. Steve Sherwood has been happier on the deck than in the air, I think it's true to say. And Watford's only defeat in the last 9 league games was at Anfield. 3-0 by Liverpool. One's ending here. Here's Alan Smith. Peak. There's another lovely strike of the ball. Bardsley. And Porter going on. And then couldn't keep it down. But typical of the club, that attempt right at the death. Chase away. The end of an afternoon of some experiments and a little ill fortune for Watford. A thoroughly satisfactory 90 minutes for Leicester City, with two memorable goals scored by Andy Peake, one by Gary Lineker and one by Alan Smith, who immediately moved off the 13-goal mark this season. Tremendous applause the Leicester City players are getting as they come off after a 4-1 victory.
Well, all I'd like to say at the end of that game is a word of thanks to both sides for their resolution to attack and to entertain. Watford went down on the day graciously, but also without giving up, despite Leicester's inspired performance, with Andy Peake the mainspring. But what a fine recovery Gordon Milne and his lads have made since most of us had them already dead and buried last October. And as a result, I reckon, a fine team spirit from the top to the bottom of the club.
In Division 1, the predicted battle for the championship between Liverpool and Manchester United is running to form. 2 points now separate them after Liverpool's draw at Everton and United's win at Aston Villa. Then there's a 5-point gap to Nottingham Forest and West Ham, with Southampton staying in touch, a further point behind, but with a game in hand. Ian Rush, with his 33rd goal of the season, put Liverpool ahead at Goodison Park, and it seemed the champions were destined to win this Milk Cup final preview when Everton's Graham Sharp missed a penalty 13 minutes from the end. But with 5 minutes left, Liverpool reject Alan Harper, who never got a senior game when he was at Anfield, scored the equaliser to send at least half the massive 51,000 crowd home happy. Two problems for Liverpool to consider before Wednesday's European Cup tie against Benfica. Sammy Lee is doubtful with a rib injury which saw him go off after 17 minutes, and Benfica warmed up with a 7-0 league win today. Meanwhile, Manchester United gave themselves the perfect boost for their Cup Winners' Cup tie in Barcelona with that 3-0 win at Villa Park. Remy Moses, Norman Whiteside and Brian Robson were the scorers, and afterwards manager Ron Atkinson said, put Robson, Moses and Ray Wilkins in the England side, add one other and it would be the perfect midfield blend. In Divisions 3 and 4, Oxford United and York are still the respective leaders despite both drawing today, and there's one result this evening in the 4th Division, Torquay 2, Northampton 1. A newspaper report tonight suggests that former Arsenal midfield player Liam Brady, now with Italian club Sampdoria, is negotiating for a return to the English First Division. The clubs reported to be involved are Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United and Newcastle, and it's thought that Brady was having secret talks here before flying back to Italy tomorrow. No jackpots on the pools this week. 13 score draws and 5 no-score draws means no claims are required. The dividend forecast is low and some minor dividends may even be cancelled. The score draw numbers 3, 7, 9, 17, 22, 25, 31, 33, 40, 41, 42, 53 and 55.
Well, now the result of the February Goal of the Month competition, where opinions varied considerably, but most of you and the judging panel picked the Nigel Callaghan and Imre Varadi goals ahead of the rest. Mo Johnson squeezed into third place, but the Goal of the Month was scored by Nigel Callaghan of Watford.
Johnston, Rostron, Riley, Rostron again, always looks to attack and he's pushed a good ball forward there to Johnston. Wide of him is Callaghan with a drive. Oh, marvellous shot by Nigel Callaghan.
Young Mark Andrew, Leicester's mascot for the day, must have been the happiest of all. He could claim he inspired Leicester's victory by showing Andy Peake just how it was done before the kick-off. But imagine Andy's joy on top of the world as an under-21 international, injured and dropped on more than one occasion, but bouncing back in this week particularly to show that there are Englishmen capable of making life difficult for opposing goalkeepers. Good night to you.